Hello, and welcome to Cousin Chat, where we talk about what matters. I'm your host, Donna Pazant, and today we are talking about things we didn't ask for. Basically, joining me for this chat today is my cousin Kenyana. Kenyana, say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Yeah, Kenyana and I were talking a little bit a while ago about some of the things that we have experienced and how we've grown from them. But then I was also reminded of a sermon that I heard recently. Bishop Lisa M. Weah, she's the senior pastor at the New Bethlehem Baptist Church in Maryland. And she was preaching at my church for Women's Day. And the title of her sermon was, I Didn't Ask for This. And as soon as she said the title, you could hear I guess, I wouldn't say sighs or murmurs or you could just hear the reaction. Just the title alone, we didn't even know where the sermon was headed or what would be her focus, but just the title, it kind of just I know it made me just be reflective on some of the things I didn't ask for. I didn't ask for this. But then she went on to talk about Rachel and Leah, like from the Bible. And she talked about how God can use your pain for good. Like even in your pain, you can be blessed or you can bless other people. And then when I started thinking about that, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I didn't ask for this or that, but I can see now how God used that situation to create another situation, that kind of a thing. I just think it's difficult to deal with those things while you're sitting in it. Before you get to the good or before you get to the great, while you're in the painful situation, I can see how it's difficult to even think about what might come because you haven't seen it. You don't see it. You're dealing with what you have right now. What are your thoughts about that title? Like when I mentioned it just now, what did you think about I didn't ask for this?
Like you, well, I can't even say like you. I think when you were saying you heard the title, you were thinking of a specific moment in your life. For me, it was like different points in my life where I was sitting there thinking, I didn't ask for that, I didn't ask for that, I didn't ask for that. Certainly didn't ask for that. And I feel like just in totality, there's so much that I don't control, that I cannot control, that I am glad that I have the spiritual foundation that I do to understand that there is someone who is greater, who is in control, who has the strength to carry me through all of those things, because there are many times you don't know, like you said, not just that you're in it, but how you are going to come out of it. Like, where does the strength come from? Did you get pulled up out of it? Did he bring other people into your life to pull you out, to carry you out? But at the moment right now, thinking about all those different things, I feel gratitude that I'm on the other side of it and that I've learned so much from all the different things. And you're right, in the middle of it, there can be some really sucky parts. A lot of pain, a lot of, as we have spoken about before, kind of living in the past or rewalking that or reliving that pain. Sometimes you get caught up in that vicious cycle. But I have a lot of gratitude for being pulled out of it. Hallelujah. Because sometimes it wasn't the song, my soul looks back and wonder how I got over. Yes. There are times you look back and you're like, I don't even know how I got so that mess, but praise the Lord, I'm out. Right now I just feel a lot of gratitude. You actually brought a smile on my face because of my right now. And my right now may not necessarily be, everybody else's right now, where there are some people who are on top of the world and they are, millionaires or billionaires. I am none of those things, but I am grateful and I am loved and I have a home and I have a job and my children are safe and they're healthy and my husband is safe and he's healthy and he's smart and he's in his right mind and I'm in my right mind. So a lot of my kids are in their right minds. This is a pretty good place to be. I'm grateful.
Yeah, and that is a good place to be when you're talking about being in your right mind, because
a lot of people ain't.
I know. I was thinking about when I tried to think about things I didn't ask for, it really, I had to go to the extreme because there was so much because when I look at other people's troubles, I really can't complain. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a complainer. So I was thinking, what could I really say that I didn't ask for? That, I really could have done without, Yes. And then I thought about the loss of my parents. I didn't ask for that. Like that. Right. Now that is those are two things that I'm like, you know what? I really did not have to, I didn't need that. You know what I mean? But then even in that, I look at how now when I talk to other people who are grieving or who have lost a parent, like a mother or father, and I'm able to comfort them and minister to them in a way that I would not have been able to, even in that, that I can honestly and truly say, I did not ask for that. I can see how God has used it in my life to help someone else. So granted, while that is an extreme, I can take that message and apply it,
Same, because, it was definitely for me, the hardest was losing my mother at 16. There was definitely a period of you blocking out so much that you don't even know how you got through. You finished high school, got into college, But I have to say that, like you, for me, it was being able to say that the lesson that I learned, this is how I was able to get through that, or this is who pulled me through that, or I know that these people were instrumental. So who do you have in your life that you can hold on to, who is your life preserver? Who has, when you pray to God or your whatever being that you pray to for goodness and strength in your life, you ask him or her for someone to just show up one day and say, hey, you know what? You're not alone. Because I think I know a lot of people's pain comes from this thought that they are alone in this world, and we are not alone in this world. So yeah, that's why I said, for me, the gratitude is after, definitely not in the midst of it. I know there are some great people who can testify or have the testimony of being strong in the most horrible circumstances. I cannot say that I am always one of those people where I was so strong in the middle of please. It was an absolute mess, a full-on puddle. So, I am one of those I can look back and say, okay, this is how I got through it. This is why I'm grateful today, because I'm not 16 right now, so.
And you mentioned a life preserver, and I think, metaphorically speaking, when you take away the people who were considered a life preserver, or for those who are listening, when you remove the people that you might consider a life preserver, who then is your life preserver? Like, you need an anchor, right? Like, at some point, maybe, it's got to be someone greater than you Because if you are in the middle of something you did not ask for and do not want, now let's be clear, there are some good things that happen that you maybe, that maybe you didn't ask for. But right now I'm focusing on those things that you really could have done without. And while you were in the moment, we're even questioning, why is this happening to me? Which is a normal question, and don't ever feel like your faith is weakening just because you ask questions. God, he knows your heart anyways. If you're thinking it, you might as well go on and ask it. What can you go ahead?
Call on him. He wants you to call on him. That's why he's there. There's just sometimes we forget through the day-to-day, we forget, and it's unfortunate that sometimes the most weakest is when we remember, oh yeah, we do have a God. But he does want, he is glad when we do call on him. So call on him.
That's right. We sing the song, what a friend we have in Jesus, all our pains and griefs to bear. You know what I'm saying?
Just take it to
and we go through all this stuff all because we don't carry our thing, our strives, our struggles, and all that stuff to God in prayer. Take it to him. Who else are you going to take it to?
He's strong enough.
Exactly. So, when you think about those things that you didn't ask for, maybe you are in the middle of something that you didn't ask for. It's one thing to sit and reflect and be on the other side, like Kenyana said. But if you are listening and you're finding yourself in the middle of something that you just did not ask for, and you are wondering, what is the purpose of this? Because you just don't see it right now, you just need to ask God to show you. And he may reveal it right away and he may not. But the one thing he will probably do is to see you through it. I am proclaiming for you that he will get you through whatever this thing is that you didn't ask for. And so, that's my hope and my prayer for you. But I really just wanted to do this chat. This is not like some of the other ones I've done where I had straight questions and, an anticipated direction for the chat. I just was, having a conversation with my cousin, and I was telling her about this sermon that this wonderful preacher preached on at a Women's Day service. And the title was, I Didn't Ask for This. And then we just started talking about what that meant to both of us. And I just said, you know what, let me just hit record. Because sometimes, if you know anything about me, folks, if I get you on here for a chat, I'm getting at least 2. And sometimes I'll hit record without even asking, and then the person just has to be ready and they go with it. And then sometimes I'll give them a minute or 2 to just agree to do one with me. And so thank you, Kenyana, for agreeing to do this one.
Listen, spontaneity is her thing. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's right. And I'm so glad you did this with me today, because I honestly do think it's going to help somebody who is in the middle of something and they don't see how they're going to get out because they don't see the other side. Heck, the thing that they're in, they're probably wondering, where did this come from? Because a lot of the times when you're in something like that, you are blindsided, And even when you're talking about death, Kenyana, even if a person is sick, when they actually leave this earth, when they actually pass away, it's still like something that happens suddenly. You know what I mean? I don't care how much preparation you think you've done. Nobody is prepared to lose a loved one. Not for real, for real.
Right.
I think mentally people say, I'm preparing myself for that day, but when that day actually comes, that's something different. And I think that just kind of understanding that there is the other side, and in terms of God being with you to get you through things that you probably thought you would never be able to handle. Mm-hmm. And it is true when, the saying, he knows how much we can bear. He really does. He really does. And not just how much we can bear, when we can bear it. and for how long we can bear something. Because I look at some of the things I've experienced and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm still here. Like, I'm still here. And like you say, Kenyana, in my right mind, but I know how I'm still here. Your why, that's the purpose. Like, what are you here? But I know how I'm here, and that's through the grace of God. Nobody else could have gotten me where I am today, at this point in my life. And so, guys, here at Cousin Chat, we always like to leave you with something to think about. And so for me today, the takeaway would be to just, accept, because I'm trying to sound positive, even to those who are experiencing something really negative right now in their lives. And I don't want to sound like, oh, just, it'll be all right. I don't want to come off like that. But what I do encourage you to do is just pray. Just pray. And wait. Pray and wait. Do what you can in the meantime, to help your situation, because you don't want to just pray and not do any work if there is work necessary for you to do in order to get where you want to be. But pray, and you can even ask for direction, ask for guidance, ask for comfort, just thank him for what he has already done, and you can thank him in advance for what he's going to do. The main thing is to just communicate with God. He already knows. He knows everything that you're thinking, feeling, experiencing. He knows. So to talk to him about it could only help. That's my personal opinion. Kenyana, what is your takeaway for today?
Accept your posture. If you are already on your knees crying, remember that is the perfect posture for prayer. Go ahead and cry, shout, scream. You're on your knees. You're the perfect position for prayer. And go ahead and ask him. And then, like Donna said, when you finish your prayer, get up and walk, because faith without works is dead. So you have to get the power behind it. You got the power behind the throne, who is your power. Go ahead and start moving forward.
Move forward. Absolutely. And even in situations like this, watch your circle, because you don't need a bunch of negative people around you either.
Facts.
So if you're going to count on God to be your life preserver, then let him be that. And anyone else who's trying to help you stay down or is trying to make it okay for you to just be down, gotta watch that person. Stick with her.
Sometimes I have to piggyback off of that, and this may go into a different chat, but sometimes this is when you find out who is in your life for a reason, season, or lifetime. Sometimes it changes the dynamic of your relationships, but you go through things sometimes because God is trying to perfect you for something else. And you can't take everybody with you. That is a hard lesson. And you may think, especially as you're going through it, oh my gosh, not one more thing. But God knows what he's doing, even when you don't.
Yeah, well, we can sit that one right there, because my brain is going, Kenyana. I'm like, okay, so do I stop it and press record again? But I think I'll give you a break for today. But listen, guys, thank you for listening. If you want to follow Cousin Chat, and I hope you do, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I also have a YouTube channel where you can see some of my previous interviews with some wonderful people. I also have a website. It's cousinchat.com. That's CUZNCHAT.com. And you can click around and see some of the podcast covers that will show you the titles of some of the episodes I've done previously. And there are a few videos on there as well. You can also look at my bio, see how Cousin Chat got started, and some of the people who were around from the beginning, like my cousin Kenyana, hence the name Cousin Chat. But yes, get to know me and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me, as I said, on IG. And I would also love to hear from you if there are topics that you would like to hear discussed, or, if you just want to hear a different point of view on some things, just shout me out and let me know. and I would love to oblige. But that's it for today, folks. So until we come back to our next cousin chat, think about all of that. All right, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.